Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Achieving Alpha, and in this video we are going to talk about the movement Nifty has shown on a weekly basis and on a monthly basis in the past. Now it is important for us to know this because whenever we deploy any option strategy, it has a certain range or break even till which we are safe and beyond which we start losing money. Although it is no guarantee that Nifty behaves the same way for future as it did for the past, but at the same time, looking at things how turned up in the past definitely gives us a good idea of how we can design our strategy and make it work in the best possible way. With that being said, let's just analyze how Nifty moved in the past 10 years. So, being someone who writes code on a daily basis, I have chosen to do this programmatically because I think it is much easier to pull historical data rather than downloading it manually. Feel free to do this yourself in Excel or whatever tool you are comfortable working with. You can easily download the historical data for Nifty and even stocks and bank Nifty on NSE's website or on any other website such as investing or money control. So feel free to extend this particular analysis. So this is some code which I have quickly written before this video to pull 10 years of Nifty data with a monthly and a weekly frequency. And I've just done some very basic analysis to see the movement. So this is the data we have after that. So let me first explain what all features I have created. So the first one is the max fall percentage. So you can see that we are pulling in 10 years of Nifty data with a monthly frequency. And the max fall percentage is basically how much did Nifty fall from the opening price of that particular month for that particular month. So this is basically the max fall percentage. So you can see that in this particular month, Nifty opened here and it fell, or rather it created a low of 5177. So if we calculate this in percentage terms, this is the max fall percentage. Similarly, we have the max rise percentage. We have the range for the month, which is essentially the difference between the high and the low. And more importantly, we should focus on the range percentage because Nifty has grown from roughly 5500 to 14,000 today. So uh, absolute range won't make much sense, rather range percentage is what we should focus on. And the last one we have is the percentage change, which is basically where Nifty closed at the end of the month from where it was open. And you need to pay attention that this percentage change is absolute. So whether it's a negative percentage change or a positive percentage change, I have only considered the magnitude of the same, because as an option seller, if we are creating a direction neutral strategy, that is, if we don't have a particular view towards the market, so that's where this percentage change magnitude is important for us rather than what happened. So now what I have done is, this is the data that you will have. Now I have tried to calculate certain descriptive statistics of this particular data, and this is what we have after that for these particular features. So this is basically the mean, which is the average, the minimum value and the maximum value. And then these are the quartiles. That is basically the 25th percentile, the 50th percentile, that is also known as the median, and the 75th percentile. For those of you who don't know what a percentile is, in very simple terms, if 25th percentile of a series of numbers is x, this means that 25% of the values are less than or equal to x. This is really simple, and I am sure that most of you might be aware about this. So here you can see that in the last 10 years, if the 25th percentile of Nifty here is, you can see the range percentage is around 4.74%. This means that in the last 10 years, 25% of the times, Nifty has had a monthly range of 4.74% or below. Similarly, you can see the values for the 50th and the 75th percentile. So you can see that for the 75th percentile, we have the range percentage to be 8.51. This means that in the last 10 years, Nifty has had a monthly range of less than or equal to 8.51% for 75% of the times. So you can see that again we have the max. So the max percentage change that you can see is 24, and the max fall in a particular month has been 34%. And if I plot the graph and I show you, so this 34% is this line here, and this was around March 2020, which was the COVID crash. So you can see this. and then the max rise percentage is here. And if I talk about the 90th percentile of the range, so more than 90% of the times in the last 10 years, Nifty has had a monthly range of less than 11%. So, what are some of the conclusions that you can draw from this particular data when you are deploying a monthly option strategy? So, the first point is that Nifty has moved an average of 3.79% in either direction in the last 10 years. So that's what you can see. And if I, before going to further conclusions, let me elaborate a bit on this data. So you can see that Nifty has an average range of around 7.28% in a particular month, and it gives an average movement of around 3.79% in either direction. More precisely, you should look at the 50th percentile or the median as a central tendency, as a measure of central tendency, because mean can be sensitive to outliers. So if you look at the events, if you look at the 2020 COVID crash or the 2008 crash due to the collapse of Lehman Brothers, now these are unrealistic events which happen once in a decade. So these can alter the mean and can give you a false perception of the central tendency. So I would advise you to consider the 50th percentile or the median for a much better estimate. Yeah, jumping back to the conclusions. So basically, we'll see that if you're deploying a monthly option strategy, if you can cover a total range of 8.51 percentage, you are already having a 75 percentage probability of being successful in the long run. Or basically, the accuracy which you will be getting on your strategy, if your strategy covers a total range of 8.51%, would be more than 75 percentage, provided you do this for the long run. Now, if you want an accuracy of more than 90% in the long run, as observed, you need to cover a monthly range of approximately 11%, because the 90th percentile of the range is roughly at 11%. And another thing which I would like to mention is that hedging is very much necessary to protect yourself from a black swan event like what happened in 2008 or 2020. These kind of events have the potential to blow your account in minutes. So always hedge your positions. And the last point is that normal short Vega strategies like iron condor and naked strangles can easily provide you a monthly 10 to 12 percentage range, which you can see will have a really good success ratio in the long run. So over the long run, you can have an accuracy of over 75 percentage with these simple strategies such as iron condor or naked strangles. So all of these things that I have mentioned right now, these are backed by the data. I highly encourage you to download this data and then start seeing yourself before you deploy any particular strategy, because it's really important to backtest and see how the strategies which you are deploying today have done in the past. What sort of profits have they made for you and what sort of losses have they made for you. So I highly encourage you to do this. Now this was for the monthly range of Nifty. Let's also quickly discuss about the weekly range before I end up this video. So this is basically a generic function that I wrote. Just ignore this part. You don't have to focus on the programming. And what we have for the weekly report is this. So again, we have pretty similar report as we did for the monthly range. And now here you can see that if you talk about the average range in a week, so Nifty has moved around 3.12 percentage on an average in the last 10 years in one particular week. More precisely, you can consider it to be 2.62, but just to be on the safer side, the conclusion that I can draw from here is that if you are able to fetch a 4% monthly, a 4% weekly range for yourselves in a weekly strategy that you deploy, I think most of the time you are going to be successful. And again, the 90th percentile of the range comes at around 5.08%. Again, this means that for the last 10 years, 90% of the times, the weekly range of Nifty hasn't exceeded 5.08 percentage. So this is the ultimate conclusion that we can draw for the weekly ones. Again, pause the video, have a look at these figures yourselves, and then you can elaborate in a much more better way. I already explained what are these things, and again, I also briefly explained what are these. So you can just play around and design your strategies accordingly. Let's quickly just go to the conclusion for the weekly ones before we end up this video. So Nifty has moved on an average range of 1.64 percentage in a week in the last 10 years. A weekly option strategy which can cover a total range of 3.86 percentage in a week has a 75% probability of being successful in the long run. For an accuracy of more than 90% in the long run, as we saw, you need to cover a weekly range of approximately 5.08%. And again, this is based on the past data. And normal short Vega strategies like Iron Condor and Naked Strangles, again, here also can provide you an easy 5 to 8% range in a week. Considering normal scenario with a low to mild volatility, just ignore the present scenario because right now we have a budget and the markets have been pretty unrealistic from the last 1 or 2 months. So I'm sure things will get normal pretty soon. And for high volatility scenarios, I have a lot of strategies which are Vega long and they provide a wider range. So if you are looking for some of the strategies, just visit my channel. You will find a lot of good strategies there, which are basically short Vega strategies, long Vega strategies, wider range, shorter range, and a lot more things related to option strategies. So just go there, have a look, and I'm sure you will find it useful. So I hope this small video really helped you understand how Nifty has moved in the past and what sort of range you must be targeting when you are deploying a weekly or a monthly strategy for Nifty. Now, one of the exercises that you can do is you can just do the similar exercise for Bank Nifty. As I mentioned, you can go to Money Control or investing.com or even NSE's website to pull out the data for Bank Nifty. I highly encourage you do this and then you deploy your strategies accordingly. I hope you like this video and you're enjoying the content so far on this channel. It really takes a lot of effort to pull out these useful videos and collaborate them to create useful content for you guys. So please like the video if you're enjoying the content and subscribe to this channel if you are new here for more such content related to options, trading and stock markets in general. All right then, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next video. Take care and bye bye.